Good morning. I'm pleased to take this stage in such great company with the leaders of the AU community, the faculty who taught us lessons that we'll bring with us throughout our careers, and of course, our friends and family in the cheap seats. Today is a special day at American University. That's where you're supposed to say, every day is a special day at American University. And how right he would be. But today is also Mother's Day. So I'd like to take this opportunity to recognize the mothers in the audience. My mother carried me, drove carpool, put up with me, taught me, and helped me get to this stage. And like you, she also had to cancel her Mother's Day brunch this year. So thank you. Why are we here? Professor McCurdy reminded our class that we shouldn't forget what role we have in history. He reminded us that we're living in the Athens of our time, in the capital of the most powerful civilization of our time, if not of all time. We're fortunate enough to live in a country with nearly unprecedented wealth, power, and technology. When we visualize the world that our parents and grandparents lived in at our age, we can really take stock of just how far we've come as a society. Despite that progress, we still have too many who have too little. We remain in a struggle as a society where America the brave still fears what it does not understand. And we, the class of 2016, are among those who've chosen to dedicate their lives to building an even greater society. So, why are we here? Among us, we desire to help build a government and a society that can work to perfect this great experiment in democracy that is the United States. We are intolerant to injustice. We feel a responsibility to serve our country and communities. We are here because we felt a calling. Not one calling, but many. There's a story, a Jewish proverb that comes to mind when I think about my fellow students who are working to dedicate their lives to the pursuit of social justice and repairing the world. Walking down a road, a scholar saw another man planting a carob tree. You know that chocolate substitute that your healthy friends eat and tell you to try and say it tastes just like chocolate? That's carob. And it doesn't. Back to the story. The scholar asked the planter, "How long will it take for this tree to bear fruit?" He replied, "About 70 years. So the scholar then asked the man, "Do you really think you'll live another 70 years to eat the fruit of this tree?" He answered, "Perhaps not. However, when I was born into this world, I found many trees, planted by past generations, and just as they planted for me, I am planting trees so that my children and grandchildren will be able to eat the fruit of these trees." So why are we here? We are here to plant trees so that the next generation will have fruit. So as we move on to the next phase of our lives, what do I wish for my fellow graduates? Remain idealistic and young at heart in the face of political intractability and modest rewards. Don't expect a pat on the back, but do the kind of work that you can look back on after a long career and be proud of. And finally, don't get lost in Washington, D.C. Really, there are people who are often forgotten across this country, around the world, and in the city who depend on us to be leaders. They depend on us to work towards solutions to the questions of our time, like climate change, finding the balance between privacy and security, questions at the scientific frontier, and the squandering of the potential of young people just to name a few. Learn about these people as much as you can and think of them often. You see, students studying public affairs don't begin to think about their futures in terms of what can I get for myself. I have so much respect for all of you, my fellow students, because you're far ahead of your peers. You've thought about what legacy you want to leave in creating a stronger country and a more just society, and you've begun to act on it. I can't wait to watch the legacy of this class unfold as you, the men and women of the class of 2016, are planting your carob trees and watching them grow. Thank you.